Okay, take two. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Oh my goodness, I cannot seem to get started today, and I am trying a whole new setup. So you guys are going to be my guinea pig. Oh my goodness, it just came up on Facebook and I can see just how much of my messy craft surface you can actually see. That's kind of really funny. My camera setup is completely different than it has been. I'm in a different room, and because I have not been working in my craft space, my craft area here has kind of just turned into a conglomerate of messiness. It is not in good shape at all. I'm sure you guys can relate to that. At least somebody can. Hi, Judith. Good morning. Good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a nice week. You can see I have all of remnants of many Halloween projects going on around me. I've got my planner over here to the side. It happens to be covered at the moment in stuff that I'm going to be using to make ATCs, because that's what I was going to work on today during our crafty chat time. My daughter just came in from an appointment and she brought me a coffee, which was a lovely surprise. I love coffee, and I love coffee from QT. I actually prefer it over Starbucks. QT is a lovely gas station in the Texas area, much like, well, not much like, but similar to Buc-ee's in the quality of things that they have. If you've ever traveled through Texas, you've probably seen Buc-ee's. They are hard to miss. They are huge mega stores for travelers, with gas stations, and it's got like usually 100 gas pumps, and then it also has food and nice clean restrooms and lots of things like a coffee bar and a barbecue set up, and all kinds of fresh foods that you can pick up. And so QT is kind of like that on a very smaller scale. So yeah, this morning I thought I would get to work on some of my ATCs. I have so many that I have to do. I am teaching a class on ATCs at Madeitsparkle in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, coming up in September. And so part of that is we trade ATCs throughout the whole conference, and it's just an optional little fun thing. Like some people go to stamp shows and trade cards, and so you make a bunch of cards ahead of time. Well, this is very similar to that, only it's with ATCs. And so I've got to get busy because I had an original goal of 100, and then I'm teaching a class for 30 people, and I'd like to have one to give out to everybody in that class. So really, if I get 100 done, I'm doing good, but I'd like to do 130. And so far, every single ATC that I have made in the past couple months, I have given away, which is good. It's not a complaint because that's what they're meant to be for, is to trade them. And so I have traded them with lots of people. I've had some new member requests, and I've had just some requests from other people. And so we've done trades. So that's a good thing. But I have my whole mess going on over here on top of my planner because I'm getting ready to do that. But I like to start my ATCs, my card base. I actually have a base that this will be glued onto, but the first thing that I like to do is put texture on it. And so this one's going to be kind of a mermaid water effect is what I'm going to go for. So I did scales as my first thing, and I'm going to do some ink dragging. Good morning, Sherry. Thanks for letting me know that you're here and watching. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a good week. I know that I had an interesting week that was full of mainly good things. Even some of the not so happy information that came my way this week was still a good thing. So I'm trying to find joy in all things with that. And I'm just doing a little ink dragging over my surface here. And I like to do 3 colors because you get a pretty good blend. And Mermaid Lagoon is what I'm using right now. And I'm going to go all the way around the edge of my ATC card with that Mermaid Lagoon. It looks a lot darker than, Yeah, I didn't mix it up. It looks darker than I remember, but that's okay. And then I've got a really light, oh, actually, let's use old paper. It's just a little bit of green, and I'm just going to do some circles of old paper on there just to give it a hint, the smallest hint of green. Hi, Terry. How are you today? Hope you're having a good day. Anybody doing anything fun with their crafting? I hope so. I hope you're all creating something. I find that my days when I'm able to create, I'm much, much happier. And why not? Why not go for the happy? So I'm just going to lay my wave stencil on here and grab a palette knife. And I've got some Heidi Swapp metallic texture paste that's just in white. And I probably should color this. Let's just do that. We're working on the fly today, so let's just do it. I'm going to take an acrylic block. And I don't want to have a huge amount of color in that. So let's see. I think I want something a little bit different than what I've already got. So I'm going to go with tumbled glass. I'm just going to give it a little smear on my acrylic block there. Oh, I see a glare. Let me try to move the glare for you guys. Sorry that there's such a delay. I don't actually see what's happening in real time. Hopefully that's going to help. So I have my acrylic block. I'm going to take my Heidi Swapp texture paste. I'm just going to put a little bit down. That's probably way more than I need, but that's okay. Set that aside and use my palette knife to kind of mix that in, and let's see if it's going to pick up some of that blue. I just want to make it not white. That's kind of what I'm going for. If I wanted a really dark color, we'd be using like chipped sapphire or even that Mermaid Lagoon with a little more intensity in the pigment. But this is going to do just fine. And I'm going to come over here to the bottom right hand corner of the stencil of the ATC and go over my waves. This is a Brutus Monroe stencil. Tangled Waves is what it's called. It happens to be one of my favorites. Designed, I think Christopher actually designed this one, and Christopher Allen is the creator, the imagination behind Brutus Monroe. And of course, he has lots of designers that work for him now, but I'm very happy to be able to call Christopher a friend. He's a really great person. And if you've never checked out Brutus Monroe before, just hop online, brutusmonroe.com, and check out their shop. They've got some great, great stuff. All right, we're going to pick this straight up and out of the way. Nice. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Let's set this just off to the side while I get a little more coffee. Hi, Dana. Good morning. Good morning. Have some more coffee. And then I don't know, my heat gun is not actually plugged in this room, so I can't heat set this, so we're kind of at a standstill with that one. I guess I should grab a different ATC and just get started, right? Isn't that the best way to go? Best way to start is to jump in and get it done. This one is also going to be fish scales, or really, in my mind, it's mermaid scales. And I'm going to use some milled lavender. Just kind of hit that in a couple places. And then I have some Victorian velvet. Ooh, that's a pretty, pretty color. Victorian velvet. My favorite light pink, which is spun sugar. And it's going to go everywhere. And I'm going to use the spun sugar on the edges of this card. I wasn't thinking ahead. I should have run some extension cords and had it so I could plug in my heat gun, but unfortunately I have used all the power available to me in the immediate vicinity of my desk to have a light going so that there's a few less shadows here. So I have to wait. Patience is a virtue I do not have. Anybody else like that? Are you impatient? Oh, goodness. And so let's see. I have some words. Let me see if I can find my definitions. Here we go. I have some words. Let's cut some out. Well, we're going to try. If I can get to some scissors. I'm going to have to work on this camera angle. I'm totally impatient too. Oh, I think, treasure's a good one. Treasure. It says, rare and precious, very special, important, valuable, greatly loved and valued. So treasure is a really good one. And just trim that out. I'll tell you guys what I do. I find scrapbook pages that are basically have a bunch of random definitions on it. They're usually connected in some way. Like this one is life, friendship, laugh, live, keepsake, past, story, home. You get the idea. And I take these, I take an original of this, and I make many photocopies on my color copier that I cut these color copies up to use on my ATC cards that I'm giving away. That way I always have some sort of definition available. Let's see, what's my other one I want to do? Cherish, value highly, hold dear, feel or show great love, remember or hold a memory in a deeply felt way. I don't know if I want that for this one. Let's see. Magic. Here we go. I want magic. Cast a spell, special power, influence, or skill, giving a feeling of enhancement to make impossible things happen. Let's use magic. And I just keep this close at hand on my craft desk. I have a craft caddy is what I'm going to call it, that spins around in a circle, which it can't spin when I have my camera up here, but it has a small section in the middle for like upright files, and instead of upright files, mine has scrap paper that I'm using. I've got that page with the definitions. I have another page that I've photocopied a bunch of times that is it's a story that is photocopied. I say it's a story. I haven't ever gone through the trouble of actually trying to read it, but it's many sentences, and I like to use this. As you can see, I cut butterflies out of it often, and I keep those just right within reach when I'm working at my craft table. Oh, my ceiling fan is like not cooperating today. It says, no, you cannot put things up. We'll blow them around, blow them down. I'm going to try to straighten this guy up. It is definitely not straight. So what have y'all been up to? What kind of fun things do you have going on in your world today? Any big plans for the weekend? I am in the midst of homecoming season now that it's back to school, and so I do a mum making business for homecoming with a dear friend of mine, and that takes up a huge amount of my time during this back to school season because we have some schools that go back to school. Football has already started before school has started, and homecoming happens within the first couple weeks, and then we have some where homecoming doesn't actually happen until late in October. But it is a fun, busy season. All right, that is almost dry. It's just not fully, completely, but really close to being dry. So I'm going to take some weathered wood and just tap it. And it almost gives it, because there's a metallic look, there's a metallic sheen to this paste that I'm using. It almost makes it silver. I hope you guys can see that. Hey Judith, let's see, you shopped at Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby today. Ooh, new stuff. You should post a picture and let us live vicariously through you. I know all the new stuff that I have been getting as of late has to do with either my sign making business, which is still in full swing, or I should say is now in full swing, or it has to do with homecoming moms. So it's not all that exciting, I have to say. And I'm looking to see what washi I have right here at my fingertips, and I don't know that I have any that I want to use on either one of these. So no washi for that. So this one, it says treasure. Let me see what I have laying around here. I don't know if I want to use that. I've got a little scrap piece of paper here. So I'm going to take my scrap piece of paper and I'm going to use, let's see what evergreen bough looks like. That's not bad. Let's do some evergreen bough and some peacock. No, this is Mermaid Lagoon. Mermaid Lagoon. And some tumbled glass. There we go. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. Okay. I'm going to grab my art glitter glue and take my little definition and scratch a little glue out onto that and put it here on my little colored paper that I just made. My ink storage case. These guys, let's see. Photo case. These are Iris, so they came from Michaels. Iris has those big 12, I think they're actually 14 by 14 scrapbook page holders, and these are their ephemera holders or their photo holders that usually come in a set where you have them all stacked up inside of a case, but you can buy the case separately. So those came from Michaels, and I really, really like them. I have 4 of them that I keep on my desk, and as you can see, the minis fit in there quite well. There's a little bit of space, but I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me. Homecoming is very interesting, Sherry. I have found now that I'm traveling to various, well, I'm traveling again. I used to live in the Midwest, and the Midwest actually does homecoming as well, but they don't do it the same as Texas. I haven't found anywhere that does it the same as Texas. In Texas, bigger is better, I guess. It has gotten a little bit crazy because some of the homecoming mums, which are, a mum is a flower, and the flower is the centerpiece of what's supposed to be your homecoming mum. And back in the day, it used to be you had a mum, a real flower, and that flower had some ribbons hanging down from it, and there you go. And over the years, they got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think it was probably in the 80s that the high school kids started wearing them with, instead of a small amount of ribbon hanging down from a flower, they had a yard of ribbon hanging down from the flower. And then after that, it started getting bigger and bigger, and instead of going longer, because some of the girls are really tiny and you can't get any longer than a yard of ribbon hanging down, they started going out in width. And so now they make them to the point that the mum itself, the homecoming mum, has to be worn on a lanyard around the neck so that it can be supported by the neck, because it will just pull your shirt right down. And they wear them like that, and they go all the way to the ground, and a lot of times they're wider than the girls that are wearing them. I have to give a disclaimer that that is not the kind of homecoming mum that me and my friend and myself that we make. We do simpler, a little more traditional, not super humongous in size. A triple flower is the biggest thing that we do, and that's because a triple flower mum is going to weigh more than 5 pounds anyway, and we kind of just feel like it's ridiculous for the girls to try to be carrying that thing around all day. Plus they have bells on them and they make a lot of noise. Teachers don't always appreciate it. I have to say, it's kind of funny. Yeah, and the boys wear them as well, but theirs are much smaller. They have a garter that they wear on their arm, and I don't know, it's a Texas thing for sure. You wear your homecoming mum to school on the day of the homecoming game, and you wear it to the pep rally and all of that kind of thing, and then you wear it to the game, and then if your school is having a dance, you wear it to the dance. And then in my house, it comes home and it gets hung up for Mom forever. Oh, I keep changing my mind on what I'm going to do next on here, guys. I think I'm going to use a really, I don't even know what this one's called. I wonder if it tells me. It's set TM3 in the mini layering stencils. Does it tell me which ones they are? It does not. It's from Stampers Anonymous. I got it at Tuesday Morning, my favorite place. And I'm going to come in here and go down the side of this one with some texture paste. Let me see. Give me a thumbs up if you think we should color this texture paste. It's a white metallic, so it's very pearlized, and I can color it or I can leave it as is. Give me a thumbs up if you think we should color it. All right, I got a thumbs up. Fantastic. Let's see. Although these kind of look like splashes, they can look like splashes. I guess I could make them splashes. I was kind of going for them to be flowers. I think, now that I say that, I think I really do want to kind of go a little flowery. Let's use some Dusty Concord. Oh, I hope it's, well, you know what? Let's go with Shaded Lilac. It's a little softer of a purple. So I'm going to give it a little press. It's still darker than any of the color that I used already on this one. So let's give it a little mix with the palette knife. Oh yeah, that's really nice. It's kind of purpley gray, silver. It's just good. I like it. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to make sure that I get one little configuration in there. Drag that over my little ATC. This one is very thick, so we're going to just kind of put it aside and let it dry for a while. And that's okay. I don't use texture paste on all of my ATCs. Sometimes I use embossing powder. Just really kind of depends. Whatever whatever strikes me in that moment. You know, I don't like having that blank up there at the top. So I'm just going to come in with my leftover texture paste and kind of fill that in at the top and at the bottom. Knock it down a little. There we go. And we're just going to set that aside and let it dry. This magic one is really wobble jobbled, so that's my technical term. Wobble jobbled. All right, we're going to let that go, and then I guess we're going to go on to the next one. And my next one, I think we're going to go completely different. Completely different. This one, we're going for gold. So, is that raised enough? These are just, I don't even know where some of this came from, but I have these little metallics that they really kind of work a little bit more like pigment ink. Oh goodness, that really came out in one spot, didn't it? I don't know, I must have a raised spot on my board. I'm keeping it flat, but I don't hate it. All right, so there's some gold, and then let's try some silver. Oh yeah. Like that. Gold and silver. If I didn't have so much stuff on my desk, I would be able to slide these right in and out, but I have stencils and pigment ink and remnants of my last couple of projects because I've been working in a different space and filming in a different space, and so I've just been bringing everything back over here to my desk and setting it down and not actually putting things away. This is Tattered Rose, so it's got a little bit of a peach hue to it. It's not pink, it's not peach, it's not coral. It's one of those Tim Holtz brilliant goodness kind of things that you go, what color is that? And I'm going to go ahead and use it around the edges as well because it looks really, throw it. It looks really, really good with gold. It almost reminds me of rose gold without the metallic properties, if that makes sense. I think that's going to be good. I don't know what I'm going to put on this one. I think I'm going to have to dig in a box. Let's see. Grab a box. I've got a box full of fun, here we go, summer and ocean related themed products. Let's see what we can find. There are these unicorns. I do not want unicorns. Got a few little mermaids. Ooh, these mermaids might be really good. Yep, I think these mermaids are going to do it. These are from last year at Michael's. They had a whole line of unicorns and mermaids that they had put out. And these are page flags or sticky notes, if you will. And let's see. I think I'm going to go with this one. I think that's what's going to do it. And as you can see, I've cut them apart a lot. I don't use them as page flags. I hope I'm not the only one that does that. You go in and you find a product and you see this product and you go, yeah, okay, I get it, but here's what I'm going to do with it. And that's what I do with a lot of things. I tend to look at it with a different eye for sure. So I'm going to go ahead, instead of cutting her out, I'm going to use art glitter glue and do the whole thing down. Just kind of scrape some on there. Messy, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go to the bottom. So I want her to be coming off of the bottom. Fantastic. Fantastico. And let's see. I don't know that I want any of those sayings. I'm pretty happy with that. I wonder if I could do magic on there. No, I like my magic over there. Just let that sit. What do we have here? Here we've got some coral and rose gold and gold seashells. I think that works well. If I can figure out how to start it off where the end of the washi is. Fantastic. And I'm just gonna get my fingers to work a little bit. I think I'm gonna go, oh, do I want diagonal? I don't. I think I want it to go up and down, vertically up the side. And I'm gonna grab an acrylic block. That is my trick for washi. Use an acrylic block. And I am purposely going in, not doing the edges on that. Let's see, what else do we want to use on this one? What else do I see? I don't know. I like this gold. It's got my attention, so let's just do some gold waves. I think that these gold waves are going to go over here on this pink one. Right across the bottom. Fantastic. Well, let's see. I want to get that a little straighter and go to the edge with it. While trying not to touch the texture paste. Sometimes the struggle is real. It happens. Okay, well, I like that. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. What does this one say? Nice sparkle you have there. That's kind of cute. Okay, we're going to cut that down. Looks like I've cut it down a couple times already. So let's go with nice sparkle and cut the other part off. And this one is going to go right there. Fantastico. All right, I'm done with that. Get that out of my way. Back in the box. The box goes back in the cubby. It's so much better if I put things away when I'm doing the work instead of like just leaving everything for later. Or what I've been doing is projects in another room and I come back in here and I set it on my desk to get to later. And then I have like this humongous mess. I have washi. I have little wooden shapes, hearts. I have tassels because I've got some projects coming up that I want to use some silver and gold tassels. I have an entire collection of orange ribbon that was being used in different Halloween projects. More orange ribbon. That one's a sheer. I have some paper off to the side that is from that. I have a whole stack of stamps, Halloween inspired stamps that I've been using on making tags. I just finished up the tags, so that was fun. I did 62 tags for the tag swap, 62 jumbo media tags. I have to say that was very interesting. I did most of them in sets, so there was at least 2 that were the same. A lot of them had 5 or 6 that were the same, and they were spread out among different people. But I had 8 partners in that swap, and then I had to do 2 for myself. So that was a lot. But it was fun. I'm glad that I got it all done. So I'm going to have to decide where I want the magic to be. Maybe I do want it to be just right on top of those waves. I think that works. Or do I want it to be, I don't know. I think I'm going to do it right on top of the waves and then see what I can find. See what jumps out at me over the next couple days to use as a focal point here in the middle. Because I didn't even mount that to anything. I didn't back it, so it just kind of blends. I like when things blend. I do that a lot with my stamps when I'm stamping on ATCs. There will be a message. There's always either a definition, a word, like an inspirational word, or a message or a quote somewhere on my ATCs. And sometimes I do it in white ink, white pigment ink over the background, so it's just there. I mean, you have to like actually look for it to see it, but but it's there. It's just kind of subliminal. Sometimes that's what I like. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Just a little crafty chat, showing off my messy desk here. I can't wait to see some of you guys, some of your messy desks. Maybe you'll go ahead and post that in the comments below this video as I close it out for today. I'd love to see your workspace or your crafting space, even if it is a tray table or a spot on your kitchen table or counter or wherever that may be. I'd love to see it. And maybe if enough people will post those pictures, I'll pick a winner and send you a little prize. We'll just do a random drawing. If we can get 4 or 5 people to post their spaces, we'll do a little prize just for fun, because happy Friday, why not? All right, guys, you guys have a fabulous weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be on this weekend because I am in the midst of making mums, and I do that away from my home. I have a mum shop that I work at, that I do that with one of my friends. So it's harder for me to jump on and do lives. But if I get a chance this weekend, I definitely will. And yeah, that's what I got. So happy crafting. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.